Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. And this time I'm going to take a look at the singles of the Pretenders. I'm going to rank all 24 UK singles from 1979 to 1999. Now, as I say, these are UK singles. The US tend to have different singles. For example, songs like Louie Louie, Show Me, The Adulteress, Thumbelina and Time the Avenger, I had to write them down, were all singles in the US, but they were never released as singles here. There's also a few I'm not going to include. For example, some of the Chrissie Hynde material she did with UB40, so I'm not going to include I Got You Babe, which I used to love at the time. I can't stand it now. The Breakfast in Bed with UB40, which I used to love at the time and I still love it. I think it's a fantastic song. I'm also not going to include Mood Swings Spiritual High with Chrissie on vocals. This is basically State of Independence. It's actually very good. Nor am I going to include the remix of Kid, which was released to promote the singles album around 1988 or so. So those won't be included. Also, I'm not going to include the live version of Kid, which came from I Love You. This is actually a really good song, but on this is a live version of Radiohead's Creep, which is excellent. And I'm not going to include the live version of 2000 Miles, which is absolutely magnificent. That's nearly probably better than the single, but we'll do the original single. And on here is a song called Happy Christmas, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, which I play every year. It's not live, it's a studio version, but it's gorgeous. So those are not going to be included. So if we start, put those down there. If we start from number 24 and work our way down, and number 24 from 1987, and it's If There Was a Man, which is a song they did for the James Bond film The Living Daylights, and it's alright, it's not great, it's a bit boring. Nice back cover though of Chrissie. This I don't even think was a single in the US. I think they opted for the other song they did, Where Is Everybody Gone, but it didn't do too well here. It's not great. Number 23, and another from a soundtrack, and this time it's from the movie 1969, and it's Windows of the World, and this is the one with Johnny Marr on guitar. If you see Johnny Marr right in the middle of there, that's one of the first things he did after leaving the Smiths. This is the Baccarat David song, and again it's okay, but to be honest, it's not a great song, never mind a great version, it's just not a great song. So that's my number 23. Okay, now we'll get into ones you've probably heard of. Number 22, and it's just because it's overplayed, and it's I'll Stand By You, which was a decent enough hit in 1993 for them. I like it, but I'm not that, it was never that keen, and then when Girls Aloud did it, it put me off it completely. So that gets my number 22. Number 21, and some people may think this is a bit low, but again, it's never been one of my favourites, and it's a thin line between love and hate. Words are really good, and the music's good as well, but I just think this song's a little bit boring. It just does really nothing for me. I remember in the charts at the time, didn't do too well, but I was never that keen. So it gets number 21. Number 20, and from 1983, and it's Middle of the Road. And this has got great drum intro, great guitars, but the only thing I don't like about this is the whoa bit. I would have loved that to have been actually played on the guitar, and I think this would have made this song much better. It's still not a bad song, I still do like it, but it's obviously not one of my favourites. Number 19, and from Pretenders 2, and this might be a bit low for some people, and it's I Go to Sleep, and I think the reason why is I've overheard this. This is the Ray Davies song. I've heard the very short demo. This is obviously far better. Maybe if I did this on another day it'd be higher, but as I was playing it I was going, this is not as good as what I used to think it was, so this gets number 19. Number 18, and from the same album, and it's the second single from Pretenders 2, and it's Message of Love, with its crunching guitars, and this is very good as well. This is 1981. Yeah, good song, good B-side, Porcelain, which wasn't on any of the albums, but I remember this getting into the charts, and it went straight in very high, and that fell straight back out again. I think a lot of people were wanting to hear this, get this, but nobody else bought it, and it really fell down the charts very, very quickly. Number 17, and a CD single, and it's from 1999, and it's Pop Star, and it's from Viva El Amor, and this is a really good song, really good Pretenders rocker that opens up the Viva El Amor album. So I guess number 17. Number 16, and the second single from Pact, and it's Sense of Purpose, and it's quite acoustic-y, and it's just a really good song. It's very easily listened to, and they do a very good version of this, a full acoustic version of this on I Love You. Now I really do like this. This is from Pact, the very, very underrated album from 1990. Number 15, and this rocker here, and this is a very, very erotically charged rocker. You listen to the words in this and you go, whoa, it's Night in My Veins. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's from the Last of the Independence album from 1993, but I think this was released in 94. Maybe I'll Stand By You was released a few months before the album, but I think this was a single in 94. It's excellent. Also from that album we have 977 at number 14. Now this one here, the lyrics are very, very powerful. A lot of people won't agree with what she's singing, but basically this is about a man that beats up his wife or his girlfriend, but as she's getting beaten up, she is actually seeing what it's like to be him and knowing how he feels while he's doing it. I couldn't believe it when I first heard it. It wasn't a big hit, so I don't think any radio stations played it anyway to catch on to it, but it's a really, really powerful song, and I do actually recommend that you do listen to this. It's a really good song. So number, where are we at now? Number 13, and the first single from Viva El Amor, and that's Human. And this is just a really good pop song, really good pop song, well played, well sung, and catchy as hell. Love it. From 1999. Okay, number 12, and the first single from Pact, and it's Never Do That, and this again is extremely catchy. It is slightly reminiscent of Back in the Chain Gang without the lead guitar bit, but it is quite similar. It's got a fantastic B-side. They do a really, really strong version of Not a Second Time by the Beatles on the B-side, which you can't get elsewhere. But yeah, really good song, Never Do That. And number 11, and maybe some people will think this is a bit high, but I am going with My Baby, which is the opener to the Get Close album, which I love. I know it's the most 80s sounding, but there's something about this song, I've always loved it. I think it's great. Didn't do too well, but I think it's a great single. Okay, number 10, and it's another one from a soundtrack, and I can't find the single I have, so I have to show the soundtrack. And it's from the Fever Pitch soundtrack, and it's Going Back, and it was released as a single in 1997. It's the old Gotham King song, and it's brilliant. The way she does it is absolutely brilliant. It's actually I prefer this version to the Byrds actually. So Going Back, and I love the film. It's about Arsenal Football Club supporter, and I'm an Arsenal fan anyway, so that's why I'm going to love it, which I do. So yeah, Going Back is my number 10. Number 9, and I'm going to give it 2, Stop Your Sobbing, the debut single produced by Nick Lowe, and this was written obviously by Ray Davies, featured on the Kinks debut album. Really, really good. You know the production is by somebody different, because this sort of stands out a little bit. This is more echoey than the rest of the songs in the album, but it's a really brilliant version, and that gets my number 9. Okay, number 8, and we'll go with Don't Get Me Wrong, the first single from 1986 Get Close album. Yeah, a great song, very, very catchy. Top 10 hit I believe in the UK, and I think it did very well in the US as well. So that's my number 8. Number 7, and I'm going to give it to 1983's 2000 Miles. Although it's not technically a Christmas song, it's now regarded as a Christmas song, and it features on every Christmas compilation you can get. It's beautiful. This is the exact copy I bought at the time. I got it in the gatefold sleeve. Woohoo! Yeah, so 1983's 2000 Miles is my number 7. And number 6, another one that is got a sort of a reminiscent of Christmas, and it's Hymn to Her. It was released in November of '86, second single from Get Close. This was written by one of her high school friends, Meg Keane, and this was a big hit in the UK. I don't think it was a single in the US, it might have been just a B-side, but it's an absolutely wonderful song. Love it. Okay, we're getting to the top 5, and number 5 is the number 1 hit single from 1979, and this was the first new number 1 of the 1980s, and it's Brass and Pocket. Yeah, I loved it. I remember seeing them on TV doing this, and my eyes popped out of my head when I saw Chrissy. So there was Debbie Harry and there was Chrissy Hind, and I didn't know which one I preferred. But yeah, it's absolutely great. Loved it. Deservedly got to number 1. So that's my number 5. Number 4, and one that didn't do well at all, and it's from their second album. It's Day After Day. I think this rocks along brilliantly. This is a fantastic song to play in the car. Absolutely love it. It should have been a big hit. I don't even think it made the top 40. So Day After Day is my number 4. Number 3, and it's their second ever single, Kid, and it's on their debut album, and this has got really powerful lyrics, extremely powerful lyrics. They're actually quite heartbreaking lyrics whenever you listen to them. No wonder it was remixed and reissued and then issued as a live version as well. It's just such a great song, but it didn't do too well on the charts. So number 2 and number 1, I've hemmed and hawed about this, and I'm going to give my number 2 to Back in the Chain Gang single from 1982. Yeah, it's great song, great guitar, really catchy, and an absolutely fantastic B-side with My City Has Gone as well. So I guess my number 2. And my number 1, do you know what it is? Talk of the Town. It's the first single from the second album. This was released in 1980, and this is just brilliant. It really is brilliant. And there's a good B-side in this as well, Cuban Slide, that wasn't on an LP. Yeah, this was the follow-up to Brass and Pocket, and I think it's even better. Just a fantastic song. And I'm not sure, but I think this single version is slightly longer than the LP version. Okay, so that's my number 1. So that's my ranking of the Pretenders singles. They had 1 number 1 in the UK, 6 other top 10s, and 7 other top 40s. So they weren't overly prolific, but you know, if you grew up at the same time as me, you knew the Pretenders, and they've got a brand new album coming out, and their new single, which is very Bo Diddley influenced, I Didn't Want to Be So Lonely, or something like that, or That Lonely, is absolutely brilliant. If you check that out on YouTube, I'm actually going to put a link to that song. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, that's me for now. I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.